Alright, boys and girls, here we are with another AK video. This time we're doing a Saiga 223, non-dimpled side, because that's what I could afford and what I was willing to pay for. So got this one for about 800 and some odd bucks on Gunbroker. That is not the norm. These usually go for quite a bit of money. The market on these is getting nuts, especially if you find one with a dimple-sided receiver, which is more desirable because it just looks more clone accurate when you're all done. You're going to pay some bucks for it. You're really going to kind of pay what you're willing to pay, right? And I see them go as much as 1,500 bucks in that configuration. Some crazy people, one that's like fake Bubba tacked out but still unconverted, they'll be trying to get crazy prices for those, but don't bother spending the money on it because you're just going to throw all that stuff away anyway. But I get asked all the time by people, Andy, what is the best 5.56 AK that I can get? And this is it. I talk about the Pioneers. They're cheapos, they're fun, they break firing pins, but at a firing pin's like $11, $20, for a couple of them. They're cheap, right? You can get firing pins for them, no big deal. I don't even think Pioneer is currently producing them anymore because it just became such a headache for them with the 5.56 being overpressured and breaking firing pins. But they were good guns. Overall, they ran fine and they were decent firearms. WBP has them, but WBP doesn't have distribution like other places do. I'm sure we could get them in store here, but we'd have to buy some sort of qualifying minimum. So we don't do that. We just don't deal with them. So most of your average gun stores like us aren't going to have WBP. You're going to have to do that through somebody else. And then everything else is, the used import market, right? So the overall best thing you could probably get is something Russian, right? Or, they're of close, like Chinese, any of those really good guns from those eras. But they're all going to be expensive, and you're going to have to do some sort of conversion work on them, right? So these, like I said, if you can find one for less than $1,000 and then do a little bit of conversion work, we're going to convert the front end. We got the 100 series AK-74 style threaded front brakes we're going to put on there, or front end we'll put on there. That shouldn't require any barrel cutting or recrowning or anything like that. We'll see when we get there. It's already got the 100 style 90-degree gas block on it. We'll just replace the tube. We'll do the grind and fit bolt through style, probably handguard retainer, because that's the easiest way to do it. Then we'll do probably the Carolina Shooter Supply trigger moving over kit that they sell. We'll do one of them, and then I'm just going to use a standard style Tang stock or some adapter the like of coming out the back end there. Like I said, it won't be a dimple sided gun, but it'll be a good reliable running 5.56 gun that was built that way, and it's a Saiga, man. It can't be too much cooler than that. So we'll build as accurate a 100 series clone as we can. All right, guys, the Saiga 223 build is done. It is different than I had sort of alluded that it would maybe, and that is for a lot of different reasons, and I shall get into those now. When I initially ordered all the parts from Carolina Shooter Supply, I forgot to order a front handguard retainer, and then in doing some of my research, I found these new Zukov, the shorter one, the S handguard, or the U, Zukov U. Yeah, it's a Zukov U. So I found those, and I had never worked with them before, but apparently they require you to cut off your front handguard retainer. So normally I would say that's retarded and this product is stupid, and for that purpose kind of is. Like, Magpul could have easily designed around that by just putting a cut in the bottom of that aluminum retaining plate in there, which I think if you're installing this on any other gun you should absolutely do. But the handguard itself is pretty cool. So there's a big retaining aluminum heat shield chassis inside there, and then like a very military-esque polymer, right? Because, polymer is one, lighter, better for heat, because these, AKs get hot, right? So I'd never tried it before, so I ordered up a couple of them for a couple of Saiga conversions I'm doing, and then we'll try them out. So, but from tip to butt, we've got Carolina Shooter Supply 74 style brake, 24 millimeter, with the little ports in it, the kind of updated guy to make it a little bit more functional. And then we did the conversion of the front sight block, right, Carolina Shooter Supply, so that's been pressed on and fitted. One thing with those, I don't know if I mentioned it in the video because I'm shooting this all separately, but those come, I think they're like 14.5 internal, and for the 223 barrels, they're either going to be 14.7 outside diameter or 15 millimeter, more likely 15 millimeter, so you're going to have to get a reamer. That's the way to do it. Hey guys, sorry, allergies. But then I did that Midwest, or not Midwest, I'm sorry, I was going to do the Midwest. We went with the Magpul Zukov U, the Texas Weapon System dogleg rail, and then out back I've got the Veltor tube. This one's got a little paint on it. We had used it on another project. And this is just a cheapo UTG stock placeholder for now. And this is a 223 gun. It's just sitting on a 7.62 stand because I don't have a 223 or 5.56 welded stand. And then I went with the Hoe grip because those are my favorites. Did the ALG trigger. Can't really beat those. I know some people like the Fime Group ones, but I do not like the Fime Group ones. I just never have. I don't know. But yeah, that's it for now. I'd like to get out and shoot it. Supposedly we're supposed to be able to use a cleaning rod with this. So that'll look good. Get that in there. Get the cleaning rod in there and it'll look all proper. And it's just kind of like an in-between build. It's like something that looks like military and then looks updated. So it's sexy, but it's still got some of that like polymer military-esque look to it. So I like it. I'm happy with it. I'm happy with how it turned out. My first 223 Saiga. Stay tuned. We'll get some range footage with it here, relatively soon, probably this weekend if we can. All right, guys. Till next time.